like when it comes to like, you know, interacting with the hardware and the computer, in more libraries that have been kind of built out, like, you know, uploading an image, for example, or something like that. So that's already been like fleshed out. You could probably find it on GitHub. Whereas Node is kind of, I think it with Gmail, it kind of gained the most popularity in 2009. And it's like a new frontier for developers and engineers. So that's kind of like enticing, like when a new technology comes out, like people want to kind of push the boundaries, or a new language or a new update to a language. So they kind of want to push and see what they can do with it.
But I'll probably switch to Yarn because it has a log file, and Julia had some problems in the past because some Node packages, Node doesn't really care. They are not locking in the packages. And so I think she had problems with that because of that.
Oh, with installing with NPM versus using Yarn?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Yarn is supposed to be like faster from the few times I used it. But yeah, I guess if something doesn't work, you're forced to look for a new solution, you know, until something does work. So how about this fill in the blank? What should I add here to make this whole?
Render, right?
Yeah. So this is like, you can see it's almost like console.log, right? Console.log, and it's got the parentheses and like, you know, just like a string, right? So React DOM is the object, .render is the method on it, and what we're passing into the parentheses is the first argument is some element that we want to render to the HTML, and then here is the latch to like slap the element into. So like it's probably a div with an ID of root, and that's what we hook onto and then add the element to. So still working with objects and methods when it comes to React. Still JavaScript, right? They kind of explain it. React is just JavaScript, and it's like, whoa. It's a little bit more than that, but you know. Okay, so use destructuring. Let's see.
I have a question about the render method.
About what?
Render, the method render.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, in the React 18 documentation, they actually removed it.
Oh, React 18?
Yes.
Do you have the link for that?
Okay, let me see.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't stay completely up to date with everything React, but yeah, we can take a look. So, okay, so for this one, using destructuring to extract only the third element from an array into a variable named SUV. So we have this vehicles array, and we want to get this third element in, and we want it to be the variable SUV. So like, what will we put inside of here?
Dash in the third one, like a name maybe.
Yeah, so this one is actually comma SUV, which I thought was pretty interesting. I've actually never needed to do that. I mean, when you do use hooks, you kind of like do something more like this, where you have like SUV and then like set SUV, and it's like use, you know, something like that. So we go back. Let's see how to upgrade power of our new Concur renderer. NPM install.
Yeah, I think I also had a warning that it's not longer supported with React DOM.render in version 18.
Oh, okay. So you guys are using the most. Oh, yeah. So before they use React DOM.render, and then here they're using useEffect, and it's just root.render. So they're React DOM.create root element. Yeah.
And there's
Well,
also hydrate, I think, which is pretty much the same, but attaches hooks or so.
yeah, which is kind of, well, so this is in the blog. So this is probably like the most bleeding edge, the most recent update. Because it's funny because like you come here to the getting started and try React. And where is it? Add React to website name. Hello world. And they still, oh, they're using it React DOM dot create root then dot render. So I wonder if they were just writing it more succinctly. Let's see, using JSX. Well, here they're not using, did they just update this today? That's so funny. Because the last time I looked at this, they were using classes. I know that Udacity just updated all of their curriculum from classes to, yeah, like React DOM dot create root and then root dot render. All right, more things to learn. The learning never ends, by the way. So let's see, tutorial setup. Yeah, see, like they're using class here. It's all over the place. I guess, you know, it just depends what you feel the most comfortable with. Like, you know, if you own that company, like, you know, or you're the VP of engineering, you get to decide. But you sometimes they let, if you're on a team, like you get to choose which version you want to use and what you want to use, you know, React or Vue or, you know, something like that. But, okay, how about for this one? So we want to render a paragraph element without using JSX. So we're using this react.create element method. So what would I put in here in this blank?
HTML type.
Yeah, in this case, you just put the P tag
Yes.
for P tag. And then here, yeah, using render again. Let's see, render a P element using JSX. So what would I fill out here?
That's the P, or?
Yeah, so just, you don't even have to put it as a string. So the JSX,
Yeah.
you know, which is kind of weird because, like, you know, when we were just doing like landing page and some of those other projects, you'd have to put it in a string before adding it to like the inner HTML. So let's see. So a little bit of a difference, you know. Complete this statement that renders a JavaScript expression inside of JSX. So what would I put in here if I wanted to kind of like do math inside of this?
I'm just guessing, yeah. But
Okay.
it's probably curly braces, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yep, and it's slightly different because like in vanilla JavaScript with string interpolation, like you'd have like these backticks, right? And then you'd have like this $sign. But with JSX,
okay, sorry.
oh no, you're right. I'm just showing what it would look like with vanilla JavaScript. But with JSX, you know, it's a little bit more destructured, like, you know. So complete this expression to include a class name attribute the way JSX supports. So what would I, instead of like class equals primary, what would I put here for a class attribute?
Class?
Class name.
Yeah, that's right. Class
Okay,
name.
class name.
So they kind of go over this like in they kind of go over this in the Udacity. So like it kind of uses like these properties of the elements for the JSX attributes, and you can also come up with your own, right? So like you can say like this is like name equals primary if you were passing down like this property primary, for example. But if we were writing CSS, it would look like this. Name, so what would this be called, right? Component person. This one is pretty much like that, right? No tricks there. And then what would, so if we wanted to complete this component, which uses properties. So here you can see.
It's props.
Yeah, props. Yep. So we're passing, here's an example of that unidirectional flow. So like person is a component, and it's almost like we're calling the function person here, and we're passing in the argument Jesse as a string, and the prop name is name. And so when we call it props, it like turns this into an object, and then we can access this name using props.name. So which will point to Jesse, right? Create a variable named name and pass it to the message component. So that's here. So this is basically like this, right? So we're just take, so in this case, the property is outside of the return statement as a const variable. So we're just putting it in here. It's called kind of like when you see, when we wrote the function and it was like this dot name equals name, or this dot height equals height. Okay, so for the click event, so it's kind of like, so here they have it lowercase, but in this situation, okay, how about this one for conditional rendering? Use the correct logical operator to complete the following component. So what would I put here if I wanted profile to render? Dagmawi?
Babel ampersand.
Yeah, that's right. Oh. Like that, which is kind of funky because I think only if this side is not true, then this side will be true because it's a truthy, like the fact that the component exists makes it truthy. But what is really short circuiting is if the person is logged in or not. So if they're not logged in, then we don't show the profile. But if they are logged in, then we would show this profile component. So add the attribute that allows React to keep track of elements and lists. So we have this grocery list function, and we have the properties outside of the return statement, and we're mapping through and we're creating an LI element. And so what would I put inside this blank so that,
Key.
yeah, key. So that's an error that can pop up if you don't add the key when you're creating like list items. So React like kind of needs it to keep track of things. So that's it, right in the nick of time. So did anybody have any questions? Let me go back up here. I think we met it.
No.
Okay.